are. Oh,
There you go.
we are so sexy. Sexy.
That's Sophie, Juan, your celestial guide and astrologer.
And Caitlin, the so sexy lady, our numerologist and astrologer. And we are
Your mom's
back.
gonna hate that.
I know. It's gonna feed into our lesbian narrative.
Okay, so anyways, this is a week 2.
So this is how we started off because there are some sexy vibes with the two.
Yeah.
This week, July 14th through July 20th. Please tell us what is going on with the numerology.
Well, we're in numerological week 2, and 2 is all about cooperation, balance, partnership, collaboration. If I was to equate this to an astrological energy, I would say this is big Libra vibes.
Mm,
So actually a really, really good week to link up with people, to connect with people, to meet new people.
mhm.
I always tell my clients that, the only energy that you're really like destined to meet new people in and form new love connections in
Mm.
is the 2 or the 6. So we're in the 2 energies. So it's a really good time. If you are looking to meet someone new or to go on a date, like this is such a good week to do it. Like
Mm.
if you're calling in partnership, this is a great week to really focus on that and get
Yeah.
really clear on what partnership you want to call in. Now that could be romance or it could also be within business, right? It could be who are the people that you really need to call into your life, whether it's like a business collaboration or, maybe you just want new friends to go do active activities with, like
Mhm.
whatever you want to call in that has to do with partnership and collaboration. Now is the time to do it.
That goes so nicely with that Venus transit we just came off of, the
Oh
Venus
yeah.
trine Neptune
Late
that was
last
happening
week.
late
Yeah.
last week. So this is a really nice progression of like, oh, you are single, ready to mingle,
Yeah.
right? So you're doing all this like self-care, self-love, putting yourself out there. And then with the two, now it's about like, okay, like continuing that theme and opportunity of like meeting someone,
Yeah.
collaborating, relationship stuff. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. This is such a good week to nurture connections. So I definitely
Mhm.
recommend doing that. Also, what I want to say about this energy is that the 2 is really about finding equilibrium and finding a balance in your life. So this week you might notice more where you are in balance.
Mm.
So let's say maybe like you've been eating out too much and not exercising. This week you're probably going to feel like, okay, it's time to get back into a workout routine.
Mm.
It's time to start cooking at home. If you're feeling like out of balance with your work life, your home life, that's all going to kind of come up right now.
Mhm.
And it's a really good time to really get settled and to really find that balance. And I will say that when you're in that 2 energy, if you're pushing too hard for something
Mm.
one way or another, the universe is going to slow you down some ways. Like a really good example of that is, let's say you're feeling really burnt out and tired, but you're really pushing for things at work. You're like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going, keep doing it. Um, there will be a pushback energy. So you'll probably end up getting sick or something is going to stop you where you have to then stay down. So again, like if
Mm.
ever there was a time to really focus on how can I be more balanced, mind, body, and soul, this is that week. So again, I would highly recommend finding, balance and harmony is like number 1 when you find that within yourself. And then again, externally, then look for those new partnerships, those new collaborations that you want to call in both in work and with love.
Mhm.
It's also a good time to deepen the connections that you already have with a friend, family member, or romantic partner. So again, if there's, you know, something special you've been wanting to do for someone, or if you want to reconnect with someone, or you want to again like go deeper into a connection, like this is a good time to like have those conversations and plan those events. And
Mhm.
again, like it's a time of being more in touch with your intuition and being more sensitive, right?
Yeah.
Like the 2 is also known as the empath, so you will be more in touch with your emotions this week.
Hmm.
um
Yeah.
so yeah, tap into that energy and nurture those connections you really want to continue to deepen in your life.
Yeah. It's interesting because, you say Libra energy, but really the astrological energy, we have a lot of stuff going on with Mars. So there's a Mars
Ooh.
heavy. Yeah. And it's interesting because Mars is really related to like action. It's
Well, and it
fire.
rules Aries, which is the
Exactly.
opposite of
Yeah.
Libra. So that's interesting. And again,
Yeah.
Aries and Libra are all about finding that balance
Balance.
between the
Yeah.
self and partnerships.
Yes.
So that definitely will be coming up this week numerologically, and it sounds like
Yeah.
astrologically.
Well, even when you said like, oh, deepening like the connection, I actually thought of that as like intimacy because
Mm,
Mars is sex and
yeah.
it's sexual energy,
It's a
which is
week of
why I
sex,
started.
people.
That's why I started
Go have
our
some good
video off
sex.
with the so
So
sexy.
sexy.
So Monday, July 15th, we have Mars conjunct Uranus, which is,
Ooh,
I know, very interesting. So
the weird
Mars,
one.
the planet that is our aggression, action, courage, taking charge. It's a fiery energy of, of instigating and going. And then you've got Uranus, which is all about innovation, evolution. And so when those two come together, then we have an interesting mix of really, being able to come together to like take things to the next level.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
and it is a little bit of a spicy
Yeah.
energy.
Well, Uranus is the rebel too, right? So it
Exactly.
wants to rebel against anything that like feels put on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there could be some of that
Mhm.
energy of wanting to rebel against something.
And this could also be about when you're starting something new to not be afraid to go for that thing that's like a little bit unconventional, a little bit different
Oh
because
yeah.
Uranus
Embrace the
is,
unconventional as much as you
yeah,
can. But I'm
exactly.
very unconventional. So like maybe don't take advice from me. I don't know. That's always my
Like, oh,
advice.
the eighth house energy, that little weirdo. So with this Mars energy, I'm actually thinking of this as more of a intense like sexual energy for those
Yeah.
that want to deepen the connection.
Get spicy in the bedroom, people.
Yeah,
That's what we're saying.
yeah. It's a
Spice it
freaky
up.
energy.
Yeah, it's freaky.
And then at the end, towards the end of the week, we have Mars sextile Neptune, which is really interesting because we talked about how
Ooh, yeah.
Neptune
The planet of
is,
Delulu.
yeah, is the planet of both inspiration and delusions,
And mysticism.
and
I
mysticism.
always think, like, I always want to say that because
Yeah.
people forget that side of Neptune, but I find that the most spiritual experiences you'll ever have,
Mhm.
there's usually some major Neptune transit happening.
Yeah.
Again, they rule Pisces
Yeah.
that walk a fine line.
And so we have this happening on Saturday. So at the end of the week, July 20th, I almost said July 15th, and I was like, that's a Monday. So Saturday, Mars sextile Neptune. And I really think of this as a very, very creative, inspirational, but also this like elevation of the like intimacy and taking it really to the next level because when you're living in Neptune, it's like a beautiful fantasy. And
For
then
sure.
Mars is this like passionate sexual
Yeah.
energy. So I'm like, this is a really good week for some awesome sex. Like for those
Yeah.
of you out there
And the
who
two is
aren't
about
getting any,
partnership, right?
and with your partners, like plan a sensual week. Like this is a great week for that. And it's more about connecting deeper, not
Mm.
about just getting laid.
Yeah.
It's
We're never promoting meaningless sex, people. That's not the
yeah,
people we are. No. We're
exactly.
talking about hot, passionate fun that's
Connection.
connected,
Exactly.
connected,
Because we're wholesome
spiritual,
ladies.
explosive, and amazing. Powerful, amazing, explosive, beautiful, life-changing. That's what we're
I think
talking
they need
about.
more adjectives. I think they need more
Let me throw some adjectives at you.
But yeah, so this, all this Mars activation is, and not only
All
that,
about
but I
action.
actually think that this kind of energy, if when you're like igniting sexual energy is creative energy. Creative
Yeah, yeah.
energy is money. And so I even want you to
Get
observe,
money.
I even want you to observe how this flow and this fire can spark literally abundance for you as
Yeah.
well. So that's kind of my take with all this Mars energy happening, which
Start
are all
that
positive
fire.
things, in my opinion.
Yeah, stoke the fire of abundance and passion and sex
Yeah.
and get into those
Yes.
partnerships.
Yeah.
Wow. Not where I thought this was going, but I approve. I like this. This is going to
Yeah.
be an exciting week.
Yes. I
Go
can't
out
wait.
there and
Mhm.
enjoy the pleasures of life.
That's right.
That's our advice for this week. See you next week.